He knows he has a little part today, and so I think he's just going to come up and join me. Yeah, yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. And so we finished our series last week. We've been talking about thriving and what it means to thrive as a church. Hold on just a second, buddy. Can you go sit down for a minute? All right. Whew. We've been talking about what it means to thrive as a church. And so we're going to be shifting focus a little bit, and we're going to be focusing on a little bit of direction, a little bit of vision. You know, our church does have a vision, and I don't know, maybe sometimes we're not the best at communicating that. And so we want to be really forthcoming. We want you to know what the vision is. And see, the vision that our elders have set forth, it's not just for our church. When I say that, it's not just for being here. It is the vision and what they desire for you and your faith and your walks. All right? So this is a communal but also an individual vision of what they desire for us. You know, having vision is important, isn't it? Any of y'all work on houses here in Vernon much? Some people? Have you ever tore into a wall? Or I'm going to tell you, some of the houses in Vernon were not built with vision. You start looking around. Sadly, I don't know, maybe you're getting this as you're getting into real estate. You sit there and you think, why did you do that? Why did you add that there? Or maybe, why did you not X, Y, Z? You know, we do that. When we don't have vision, what ends up happening is, what ends up happening is just some kind of random stuff. And the reality is in life, when we don't have vision, we don't end up where we want to be, right? It's really hard to grow. It's really hard to have a stronger faith if we don't know where we're going and we don't know how we're getting there. All right, Josiah's up here. He's excited, guys. He's been talking for like days. He's been talking about this. I also have another volunteer. Chloe, if you would go ahead and come on up here. All right, so we're going to do something. It's a classic kids game. How many of y'all, when you were kids, even if it's been a while, okay, did y'all like playing hide and seek? Anyone? Oh yeah, it's a good game. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Josiah gets to hide, and you're going to have to find him. Now, what's the rules of hide and seek? You can't peek, and you have to count. All right? So, Clay, I'm going to get you to come back over here. I need you to look at the cross. That's a good place to be looking anyways. Josiah, I need you to go quietly hide. Do you think you can do that? Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I think we're good. Now, hold up, though. Before we try to find them, Josiah, you stay hidden, okay? Be quiet. Here's the catch. All right, come on, Chloe. You're good. Here you go. All right, Chloe, I need you to step in the box. Yep, step in the box. All right, now, you can't step out of the box. All right, find them. What? No, you can't move the box either. Sorry, let's make that clear. I should have taped it to the ground or something. All right, do you think you can find them? All right. Well, we might need a little crowd help. Anyone want to do some pointing? Josiah, do you want to help out? Do a little noise? Saya, where are you at? Woo-hoo. There it is. All right, stand up, raise your hand. Where are you? There he is. Hey, all right, let's give him a round. All right. Thank you, Chloe. Please don't fall down the stairs. I'm going to move the box now. Guys, what are some things that we seek after? What are some things that we seek after? Oh, this is one of those moments that I actually want y'all to tell me things. So, what are things that we seek after? Or maybe I should rephrase that. What are things that the world tells us to seek after? Money. Okay. Fame. What was it? Beauty. Okay. I heard something else over here. I didn't catch it. What? Love. Okay. What else? A new car. Yep. All those commercials, they're really coming after you. I mean, guys, if you spend any time at all either watching TV, listening to the radio, or on social media, are you not being told what you need and what you need to be chasing after? And I'm going to tell you, I threw radio in there because I guarantee everyone in here either listens to the radio, watches TV, or on social media. The world is constantly flooding us with things that we need to seek, or that it thinks that we need to seek. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount says, "Do not worry about your life, what you'll eat or what you'll drink, or about your body, what you'll wear. Is life not more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow, and they don't reap, and they don't gather in the barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They don't toil, they don't spin, and yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his glory was clothed like one of these. But if God so clothed the grass of the field, which is alive today but is thrown into the fire tomorrow, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what will we eat? Or what will we drink? Or what will we wear? For it is the Gentiles who strive after these things. And indeed, your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But seek first his kingdom, his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Do not worry about tomorrow. For tomorrow will bring worries of its own. Today's trouble is enough for today. You know, we live in a culture. Got to move this pen. We live in a culture where most of us don't worry about the things that this passage talks about. And I'm not saying all of us. There are times in life where I think all of us have been where maybe we don't know where our next meal is coming from. Maybe we don't know where we're going to get clothes that we might be able to wear to a job interview. But the truth is, these things are still very much a part of what the world is telling us. You know, I heard beauty is one of them that was thrown out, right? Now, instead of worrying just about having clothes, we start worrying about what kind of clothes, right? I worked with students a long time. I, at one point, was a teenager myself. And oddly enough, brand matters, right, when you're that age. The brand that you wear matters. And so, we start putting a really big emphasis on that. We start seeking after that. Food. I've been having a fight recently with my son. It's pretty consistent. It's almost every meal. Josiah, I love you. That is you. Meat, he said meat. Yeah, that's... I'm a utility eater. That's what I call it. I do like to eat things that I like, but I eat for the purpose of what it's going to give me. TJ's got me. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a good meal. But in the end, am I getting the calories? Am I getting the energy that I need from what I'm eating? And if it tastes good or bad, that's kind of beside the point. Hopefully it tastes good. But if it's in front of me and it's going to give me energy, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat it. This is the fight I've been having with my son. Just learning to eat it, even when maybe it's not exactly what we want. Guys, we're told to seek after all types of food, aren't we? The McDonald's have it your way kind of mentality, that you're almost chasing after something that is always eluding you. Because we're told that it's about having this experience. And the truth is, the experience really never lives up to it, and it's fleeting. Sometimes I think we lose sight of this passage. And the truth is, this passage is not just about these things. It's not about what we eat or about what we drink or about what we wear. I mean, in a very real sense it is, but guys, it goes way past that. Aren't there things that we place ahead of seeking God? Aren't there? I don't know, maybe it's not food for you. Maybe it's not about what you wear. But I'm willing to bet there are things in your life that you place ahead of seeking God. The easiest way to do this is start looking at how you spend your time. How do you spend your time? Is your time spent seeking God or not? So if y'all can't tell, we're going to be talking about seeking this morning. And this is the first, I guess you'd call it pillar. This is our first pillar of our vision. The vision that our elders have set forth for this church. To seek God. I think it's a really important, it's an important place to start, isn't it? It's a really important place to start. But then the question arises, and this is, you don't necessarily have to answer, but what I would actually like you to do, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I know there's some pens in the pews, or if you have your phone, yes, I'm actually telling you to pull out your phone, okay? I want to give y'all a second, because I would actually really like to hear this, and I bet you our elders would like to hear this too. What does it mean to be a community that seeks God first? First thing that pops in your head. Write it down. What does it mean to be a community that seeks God first? And at the end of this, if y'all just want to hand me a bunch of bulletins that has writing on it, that's fine, okay? If y'all want to send me a text, please do. Don't do it right now, but do it after. I want to give y'all just a second to write that down. What does it mean to be a community that seeks God first? I always tell the students, I'm okay with silence. I don't know if y'all are or not. It's the only way I can ever get them to talk, right, Brandon? Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to mention your name again. I told you I would. The reason I wanted to do this right now is because I'm about to tell you some of the things that we think this means, that I think this means, and I don't want to cloud your judgment, okay? I really am interested in knowing this and seeing this because who knows, maybe you have a vision, an idea about this that we've never thought about and would be a blessing. But the first thing that I came up with, when you ask this question, what does it mean to be a community that seeks God first? Seeking doesn't work if you don't move. And I got this from a conversation with Brandon. Seeking doesn't work if you don't move. So we had our little game up here. Chloe was so kind to play along. Does hide and seek work if you can't move your feet? I mean, let's be honest. What's the fun part about hide and seek when you were a kid? When you're running around, what is it? What do you have to do? You got to tag them, right? You got to go tag them. There's a difference between seeing and finding. And I think that's a line that we really need to understand. There's a difference between seeing something and finding it. Because seeing something is just simply, it's kind of being a spectator, right? It doesn't mean that it changes anything. But when you find something, especially when you find the living God, it begins to change you. It's impactful. The second thing is that seeking always has to be the primary lens and building block. I like using the word lens. I don't know. How many of y'all are glasses wearers? Of course, I can see you, but, right? Glasses wearers, those secret glasses wearers that only wear contacts. Y'all out there too? Because I know that you wore glasses at some point. What's the point of a lens? Focus, right? We put on a lens, and if you don't wear glasses, I'm sure you wear sunglasses, right? You get to block out the sun. It changes the way that we see, doesn't it? That's the point of a lens, is to change the way that we see. And I love that imagery as we talk about seeking God, as we talk about God in our life. It gives us a lens of how to see things, how to live, how to move. You know, one of the traps of Christian life might be the wrong term here. Let's say church life. One of the traps of church life is to really focus on building amazing programs, right? I mean, I think our church, we want to have a dynamic kids ministry. We want to have a good youth ministry. We want to have, a women's ministry that is uplifting and encouraging. Same with the men's, right? We want to build these programs, and sometimes it's really easy to start focusing more on the program than what's at the heart of it. And this is not me calling out our church, but this is things that I've seen. I have friends who have been in ministry for a long time. This happens. You start working, and everything might look really good. You might look at their website, social media, and you're just like, man, they have it going. But at the heart of it, they're missing the very essence of what Christian life, what church life is supposed to be about? Seeking God, right? Seeking God has to be the center of what we're doing always. It's the primary building block. I really don't know how to explain this. I've been trying to think all week how I wanted to share this, but normally when you have a building block, you use it once. Like that's how blocks work. You have a Lego, you put it on the ground, you can no longer build with that Lego because it's already used. And somehow, this, seeking God, it continues to like duplicate almost. And in every aspect of what we're going to be doing, it builds again, right? And so it's continually moving but not moving. It's the foundation and becomes the new foundation and building block on top of itself. Church is not a field of dreams kind of thing where you just build it and they'll come. It's not how it works. I recently redid my den, my garage, to a den. And one of the purposes was to be a place where we could hang out, watch TV, actually watch TV with the volume up. My TV was not too far away from my kids' room, and so me and Haley at night would want to watch something, and we got really good at reading subtitles because half the time we could never hear what was actually on the TV. What if I had built that whole thing and then didn't put electricity in the room? I didn't run the wiring. Building programs, church buildings, communities that aren't centered on seeking God, it's the same thing. The very vital, the most vital thing is missing. It might look good, and it might even be beneficial for people's lives, but it's not what it should be. So we have seeking doesn't work if you don't move. Seeking always has to be the primary lens and building block. And when seeking, we must leave room for others to seek as well. This came from my man Nolan back there. Seeking is unique to each of us, and it's going to look a little different. And we can't be a place, we can't be a community that keeps other people from seeking God. And that means that we have to be okay when someone wants to seek God a little bit different than us. And we have to be okay with maybe being uncomfortable for the sake of other people. And we have to realize that what works for us might not work for others. And we'll go ahead and move. We'll get to the last one. To truly seek requires us to trust God, or trust that God is faithful. He's faithful to his promises. Because we're not really going to seek. We're really not going to go if we don't believe it. Now, I just thought about this. I've done this with students. Y'all ever seen where someone holds up a $5 bill and say the first person to get up here can have it, right? I have no money on me. Y'all want a water bottle? If they didn't believe my words, you're not going to move. Guys, if we don't trust God and trust that God is faithful to what he says he will do, then everything that we've talked about is pointless. Seeking requires trust. And I'm going to tell you guys, and I truly believe this, and we read about it out of Matthew. We don't have to worry about all the things that the world tells us to seek after. We don't. God knows what we need. And when we place a priority on seeking Him, all of those things, they're going to fall into place. We're going to hit on that a little bit, and some of that falls into place because of the community. We're going to hit that next week. But guys, God is faithful. I think I said that a couple weeks ago, and I want to say it again. Right? God is faithful. I truly believe that. I hope you do too. And so, guys, this is the first pillar of our vision. Seek God. Let this not just be the center of what we do as a church. Let this be the center of what you do in your life. And that doesn't mean that all you ever do is read your Bible and pray. Seeking God takes on a lot of forms. And you have to figure out what that looks like for you. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer. But in everything that we do, that we say, everywhere that we go, the interactions that we have, this needs to be our starting point. This needs to be the center of who we are. That we are a people who are seeking God. So for today, the question arises, what have you been seeking? What have you been seeking after? What's been your priority? Is it God? If it's not, we want to help you place God at the center of your life. And we don't have all the answers. There's no magic wand. I'll be honest with you guys, seeking God and placing Him at the center, it's hard work. It is hard work. This morning in class, we were reading 1 Timothy chapter 6, Paul's charge to Timothy. And it says, fight the good fight, right? It's not going to be easy. Paul knew it was going to be difficult. And so, if you need help with that, we want to be here for you. If you're just beginning that journey, we're here. The water's ready if you want to do that today. But let's prepare ourselves. This week, let's put an emphasis on seeking God in everything that we do. So that next week, we're going to be talking about empowering the church. And we can be ready to have that conversation. Because we can only be ready to have that conversation if seeking God is in place. Guys, if you have any need at all today, won't you come while we stand and sing?